5 years to the day that Chennai FC won the Hero ISL. John Gregory was the head coach, and he said after that, if in about 20 years I'm the only Englishman to have ever won the Hero ISL, then I'll be a happy man. But you seem to be, on your way to spoil that for him. How could you do that, man?
Well, I know John really well. I played under him at Leicester and Aston Villa as a coach, and he was a manager at one time. So it will be nice to be able to achieve that. Another English coach to be able to win the ISL trophy. Obviously, it's not going to be easy, but we've given ourselves a fantastic opportunity. And if you're talking sort of going back in a period of time, I was out here 3 years ago with Martin Bain, who's the CEO, who was my CEO at Sunderland, and he just said, come out for a holiday. So we had a bit of time in Mumbai and then flew to the game. Back then, 3 years ago, I never thought I'd be coming back as a head coach for this trophy and having, I think it was Javi, Prabir and Roy, who were playing on that particular night in my team.
And Sunil, how do you reflect back on the winning run, especially from 2023? You've been on it and now you're in the final.
I think it's been outstanding.
Generally we try not to speak about all the laurels that we have done before a final, but then what we have achieved as a team is outstanding. I think I've played 22 years and this kind of turnaround, I haven't been a part of it. From where we were, if I'm right, we needed 6 wins and 2 draws with our mathematics in the last 8 games. We won 6, but we were still not qualified, so we had to win the 7th one on a trot. And from there, to beat teams like Kerala and Mumbai and to reach final is been outstanding. I think we are very proud of it, but it goes out of the window, and tomorrow it's just a new game.
Alright, we'll open the floor. We've been joined by Gurpreet Singh Sandhu as well, usually on time. But yes, please, we can.
We'll just take the video first.
Sure. Yeah, we can have the AV, sorry.
We just have a.
I want to come here to be successful. I want to go here and finish and I just straight out there to win it.
Alright, that's the mood setter, and over to you now, please, ma'am. First you.
Good morning, gentlemen. My question is for Sunil. I am Shushmita from Uttar Banga Sangbad newspaper. Sunil, Mohun Bagan and Bengaluru FC have a long time rivalry. In fact, it is like the El Clasico of India. So, and you were the part of 2015 team. So, what on that context, what is going on in your mind this time?
I think for tomorrow we aren't thinking about the rivalry, which is a team that has reached the finals. But you're right, in terms of rivalry, it wouldn't be incorrect for me to say that in the last 10 years of our history, the toughest opponent holistically has been Mohun Bagan and ATK Mohun Bagan. Right from when we played them in I-League, in Fed Cups, in ISL, they have been probably our most cherished, if I may say so, opponents. And some of the games that we have played are probably one of the best for neutrals to watch, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same thing tomorrow also. So whatever has happened, whatever the rivalry is, it's all in the past, and tomorrow it's just a new game. So that doesn't hold much context in tomorrow's game. But yes, in the last 10 years in our history at the BFC, they are probably, they come out right at the top. Yes, sir, please.
Chhetri Dural from Sangbad Putri. Do you think that you are standing just between trophy and ATK Mohun Bagan? Sunil Chhetri standing?
Yeah, I wish I was that important. Each and every one who is a BFC Duralda is standing between ATK and the trophy, and the mood is not in that context. We just want to win a trophy. It's not about we're standing against ATK or there's a rivalry, or we just want to win we just want to win the finals. And that's been kept very simple by our gaffer, because after every game, he tried not to put any pressure on the players, because as I said, we needed 7 wins out of 8 to just qualify. The mantra and the directive from the coaching staff was very simple: take one game at a time, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow also. So we're trying to keep all the noise about it being a rivalry or them being ATK or whatever. We're just trying to keep it away. We're going to go there and be a good unit, as what we have been in the last 10 matches, 11 matches, and try to be victorious. That's as simple as that.
Yeah, please carry on.
Hi. My question is for Sunil. Manish from Sportstar. Yeah. So the season started on a positive note for Bengaluru after the Durand Cup win, and after lots of ups and downs, you are facing ATK Mohun Bagan for the ISL final, the ISL title. So I just wanted to know about your just personal thoughts, and also a bit about the wonderful youth project that's going on in Bengaluru FC, where 3 youngsters, like Roshan, Suresh and Shiva Shakti, who have been selected for the Indian squad. And I remember that you spoke very highly about Shiva Shakti after the Durand Cup final. So just your thoughts on that.
So I'll answer the second question first. Suresh is not a product of our project, but he's somebody who came really young to us, but he came to the main team directly. But yes, we are very proud of Roshan and Shiva Shakti. They are from our projects, from the child, from the youth development. And Shiva Shakti, I mean, now I'll mix what I'm going to say about Shiva Shakti in the first answer. After Durand Cup, we were really flying high, we were really training well, but a lot of us probably, a lot of the senior ones probably couldn't do what we were supposed to do, and it wasn't because of lack of wanting to do it or lack of hard work, but we just not clicking personally, a lot of us. And the good part is we all had our bad phase at that moment. That's why we were losing, and he was going mad. But because all of us weren't doing great, what it meant was when once we started doing well, we all came to the party, and that is why Shiva Shakti, Suresh, Roshan comes handy, because they are the ones, and Rohit, they are the ones who are youngsters. They are the ones who push the envelope on us. They are the ones who are at training doing really well. And then came a Gurpreet, and then came a Sandesh, and then came an Alex, and Alan, a Harvey, a Roy, and we all. But if they weren't there trying to make sure that the tempo of the training isn't high, we probably wouldn't have. So I think this is one of the cases where we all couldn't do well collectively in the starting games, and not well in the sense completely bad, but thoda yahan, thoda wahan, a little bit here, a little bit there. And thankfully in the last 11 games, we all did. Some or the other one just showed up, and that's the reason why we are here.
Gurpreet, if I can just come to you very quickly. That penalty save in the semi-final was crucial in the end. It proved to be pivotal in you qualifying for the final. Personally, do you feel like you've hit top form again? How do you assess this season as a whole for you so far?
Firstly, I saw your reaction. That was good. Good to see that reaction.
Only one reaction possible.
I know. But for me, I never thought that I was out of form, like personally speaking. I was doing the same things, trying to help the team out in whichever way possible. Like Chhetri said, things weren't working out for us collectively since the beginning, and it was in back of our minds a matter of time when it will. And it did. Thankfully, all the players that are here in the club were performing day in, day out in training session, and whenever they were called up for matches, they were providing us with consistent and great performances, and I just wanted to be a part of that and be a pivotal member anyhow to reach this far.
Yes, please.
Hi guys, Anirudh from ESPN. My question is to all 3 of you. We know how remarkable the renaissance has been over the season. Could you tell me what you guys personally think is this team's greatest strength that got you guys from where you were to where you are right now?
Look, I think from my perspective, the one word that I've thought about over the last few weeks, and probably more notably the last few games, is belief. Is belief in myself that I was doing the right things, belief that the players would understand that I was doing the right thing and they would eventually get the results that they deserved, and then the belief that they then could carry the instructions and get the results with themselves. So I think belief was a massive part for us. And I think if you ask the playing staff, I'm no different now than I was when we lost 3-4 on the trot. I'm still very positive with the players, still positive, but not getting too carried away, too down. And that's been a big thing that I've tried to put across to the players. And we have to still be humble and hard working today in training, tomorrow in the game to achieve what we need to do. And confidence plays a big part in that, of course it does. And I could reel off many other reasons why I think we've done ever so well, because maybe we had injuries, we made mistakes, we didn't have 6 foreigners available until the last month of the season. We've had plenty of things, but belief is the biggest word that I can use to sum up where we all have been as a group together.
Sunil, you want to take that next?
Yeah, I think apart from that, I think when we were in and around after the East Bengal game and about to go for the Northeast game, that was the time when we were really low. And us hurting and not wanting to give up was probably one of the reasons. And it did not happen collectively. There was one training when our man over here lost his cool. Then both were fighting in training. One day I saw Sandesh Jhingan losing his head completely. One day Roy was hammering everyone. One day I went at Moirang and it wasn't pleasant. So I think the fact that it was hurting us where we were, the fact that we didn't want to be there and everyone at training didn't give up, because it was very easy. It was the easier route after East Bengal game where we needed to win 6 and draw 2 out of 8 to just give up. But there were repetition on the line, there were national team calls on the line, there were so many things on the line, and none of us gave up, and that is the reason why, probably one of the reasons why we have reached here.
Gurpreet?
Of course, you guys have already covered all the bases. I think for me, their answer will be fine. But I think I was thinking about this. I think simplicity. The way we kept things simple, even after coming back from like losses on the trot, to realize that it's not important to overcomplicate our thing going into new games, especially the Northeast game or whatever after that. Realizing as a team that we need to keep things simple, because if football is played simple, it's effective and you can get better chances to get a result. So I think simplicity is the word for me.
So please.
Hi, I'm Dhiman. I work with the Hindustan Times. I have a question to Simon and to Sunil. Simon, how difficult was it a call to keep Sunil off the starting lineup? And it coincided with the time when the team started doing well. He started making an impact coming on as a sub. Now he is what he is to football in India. We all know that. You knew that when you came here. How difficult was that a call? And to Sunil, how difficult was it to accept that I'm not going to start anymore? It's not something that you have to do on a regular basis in a long and glorious career. How difficult was that to come to terms with that this is for the team and I have to take this in my stride and make an impact when I have to?
Look, I've been asked this question numerous times over the last few weeks because of the personality and the icon of Indian football that he is. And I will be honest to say that it's the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my whole career, because leaving somebody of his quality out, his experience out, and his professionalism out is a really tough decision. But as a coach, regardless if it's Sunil Chhetri or Rohit, Kumar, Suresh, whoever, I have to make what I think is the right decision as a head coach. And not every decision is going to work, not every decision is going to be accepted by people, and I wouldn't want them to do. I wouldn't want him to be happy that he'd been left out. I wouldn't be happy if Gurpreet was happy to be left out. But what I will say is whenever any players have been left out, they've responded in the right manner. They've been positive in the dressing room. They've been training really, really well and part of the group. So I can say nothing more without the respect that I have for Sunil because of what he's been through as a player and how he's reacted to this tough moments, because he'll answer the question. It won't be easy for him over the last few months, because every player wants to play football, wants to be part. But when you have the professional attitude that he has, then you get your just rewards, and he showed that over the last few weeks when he started or come off the bench. And we are a team game, and ultimately you have success as a team, not just as individuals, no matter who you are.
I think that's quite summed up. I'm not happy ever to be on the bench, whether it's the ISL finals or a badminton game or a TT game or a carrom board. I want to play every game. He knows it. And the good thing is the chat that we had was very simple and very straight. And whenever the sad feeling comes in my heart, I tend to be calmer because I know his intention and head at the right place. He wants to win badly. And after a time you realize it is nothing personal. One thing about him is very clear that he's been fair to everyone in the team, and you could see it because I'm 38 and I can see more things. I've seen the way he deals with all the players, all the youngsters. And the second part is he really wants to win, which is very common between me and him. So then that's the point where the doubts go out. You have to do this and keep training hard because you also want to be a part. Initially it becomes a little bit difficult because you want to be there, but then you realize, okay, anytime you can be called. And if you see our bench strength in the last 8, 9, 7, 8 games, everyone who has come has really put his best foot forward. And I want to take the credit because when I'm on the bench, I make sure that I'm positive, and whenever there's a chance, I want to go in. And it translates to everyone. I know it. I know the kind of power that I have on the bench. So that's why it's very important. Now everyone who comes from the bench, they know that if this guy can come, sit, relax, train hard and wait for his chance, we all have to do it. So I think that's one of the elements in my career that I've realized now. Not happily, I wouldn't have wanted this way, but it is what it is. As simple as that. No one wants to lose in this team, whichever way. And yeah, I'll keep knocking onto his doors. It's his decision, but I want to play. He knows it. But at the end of the day, we want to win.
Look, I'll go back to pre-season when we're in the Durant Cup, when he mentions he wants to win and I want to win. Forget football. He wanted to win when we're playing cards. He wants to win when he's playing Ludo against Suresh and Utanda. He would beat his mum and dad, his wife, anything. And I'm exactly the same when I'm with my family. You do not be in football for the length of time that he has and I have, be successful if you are not winners deep down. We can be very nice people without a shadow of doubt, but I would do anything, as long as it doesn't cross a line, to win a football match.
Hi.
Yes, sir, please carry on. Yeah. If you can just be a little louder so everyone can hear.
That after the semi-final match, Mohun Bagan goalkeeper Vishal Kait said that you are his idol, you are his hero. So before the final, what do you want to say to your opponent goalkeeper?
Hopefully he has a bad girl.
Well, that's out of the window. But very grateful. Big thanks to him. He's done great this season. It's not easy to keep 12 clean sheets in the ISL due to the number of games. But again, really proud of him because he's come a big distance after all the doubts that were there regarding him when he joined ATK Mohun Bagan. But again, kudos to him and big congratulations until now. And hopefully tomorrow is a different scene.
Sir, please carry on.
Sunil, I'm not from ATK newspaper. Sunil, one thing is that actually as you have played twice to ATK Mohun Bagan, you lost, once you won. And now you'll face them twice in the final. So what changes you are seeing in the team of game and you also, because the way that time they were playing, they were in a problem, you were in a problem. But now how do you look into the final after going all these 3 matches?
Well, that's a technical question which he will answer, what changes he has seen in Mohun Bagan. But the message that I can leak to you from him is to keep our nerves and to treat as much as possible it as a game. That is the reason why we have reached here. We did not take pressure when we were playing Northeast that how we'll qualify. We took one game at a time, and that has been the directive very strongly and very clearly from his side and the coaching side. That's what we'll try to do. It's a final, lot of nerves. Look at how many people have come. You were not there when we were playing Northeast at Northeast. So you know how it is. So we'll try to keep our nerves. We'll try to keep our heads, be calm. The technical part of what and how he sees Mohun Bagan, he will answer.
Well, in terms of the difference, we're both different teams from when they beat us at the Cantiva 1-0 and then we went to Calcutta to win 2-1. 2 different teams. They recruited well in the January window, got some good players in after suffering a few injuries. Our belief, our confidence, as I mentioned earlier, has come back. The availability of a lot more players, competition for places. Look, I'm not going to go into too many details. What I think is the difference, as in the pitch, because hopefully you'll see that tomorrow night.
So please carry on.
Hi, hello.
Just a little louder, please, if you can.
Hi, I'm Rohit from Bagan, question for coach. Coach, how do you? I have two questions. How do you rate your opponent first, and the second thing, because it's a final, so can we see Sunil in your first 11?
I didn't pay.
Did he just
I didn't pay.
what we team is?
Ask you the lineup.
Right, okay.
I didn't pay.
I'll answer the second part first. You can find out when the team sheets go in what the team will be. In terms of ATK Mohun Bagan, as I just said there, had a fantastic run of results to get to the final, which you have to do, like ourselves, to get to the final, to beat Hyderabad, for us to beat Mumbai in the semi-finals. You have to be a very good team. Very defensively, look very solid. Got some good defenders. Got good competition for places. When you can leave Brendan Hamill out of the team, who's been a mainstay for them. But also they've got some talented individuals, which we know can hurt a lot of teams. Boomer and Pedrakos and many other players. But again, we will respect the opposition, and I'm sure they'll know that we've got some decent players in our team that can hurt their defensive lineup and their team. So hopefully, when we talk about the game tomorrow afterwards, it's been a great advert for the ISL and Indian football, and that it's a positive game, and that hopefully we come out on top.
So please.
My question is to Caps. I have two questions. First question is that.
So if you can keep it to one question, there's a lot of requests. If you can, yeah.
Small question, okay. So when your coach took a very harsh decision about you, did you recollect the situation between CR7 and Fernando Santos in last World Cup? Because you know that after the situation, the dressing was smashed. So how did you handle the situation? And the second one is, from the which match you started to think that yes, Bengaluru FC can do it this year also?
The answer to the second question is, I think we were quite happy and satisfied when we qualified. That was a big move, because there were some doubts as to how we were going to do it. We had the belief, but we knew it was a uphill task. So once we qualified is when we were very happy, and we thought, you know what, now we have almost equal amount of chance with the momentum. And I think coming back from Mumbai with a 1-0 lead was comforting, because we know what Mumbai can do. Probably, I mean, they are the champions of India, and probably one of the toughest teams to play in 2 legs. To go to their home and come back 1-0 was a little bit comforting. And to the first answer to the first question, no, I wasn't thinking anything. I had my own demons to fight. I wasn't thinking about anyone else. Yes, please.
Yeah, Coach, I have a question for you. In December, you were questioning about so many things in terms of scoring goals. Now you have been scoring goals in regular basis. So what was the spark? Do you think that you trained a lot during that time?
I think, again, it comes back to the word confidence, that we're creating more chances, and the more chances you create, the players will, if they miss an opportunity, will feel more relaxed that they're going to get more opportunities. I think early part of the season, we were probably getting 2 or 3 chances a game, and maybe the pressure then when it did come to the strikers or whoever was in them positions, felt that they had to score them, and that adds a little bit more pressure to them, and we did take them chances. But I did say back at the time that we keep making chances. You do not, strikers who we were talking about at the time, we're not going to become bad players overnight. The record of Sunil, Roy, Javi, obviously Shiva coming through, and other attacking players. You do not lose that instinct of how to score goals, and luckily we found them, and we have tweaked a few things in training. We've tweaked a few things on the match day situation to help us get to more opportunities, and that all comes from the learning curve from myself personally, that people don't realise that I was coming to a new continent, a new country, and I still didn't have a clue about any players when I first came. And as much as I saw teams in the Durant Cup, it wasn't until probably the turn of the year that I can reel off 70% of the Indian players now. Ask me that in July when it came out, I know 1 player, 2. And that plays a big part. So every day was a learning curve for myself about my own players, about the opposition, the style of football, what's required. So I think all them things, just to divert away from the original question, played a part in the whole round aspect of our football team. And then we come on to the attacking side of it. That plays a part as well. Hard work on the training pitches, and keeping the belief and momentum that we've talked about so many times.
Yes, please. Coach, Marcus from the Times of India. Coach, can you talk us through the kind of impact that Shivasakti has had, the kind of season that he has been having, and do you see anything remarkable or anything different about him, whether when he's playing the match or whether he's in training or whether off the field?
I think within the BFC group, everybody realised that we had a talent on our hands, and this is going back last year as well when he was training with the first team. And did he play many games? He was in the squad. Was he a couple of times? So I think within the football club, a lot of people realised that we had a talent on our hands, and then it was about the right time for him to be part of it. Obviously, I took him to the Durant Cup, and he scored goals, showed his capabilities, started the season, then got the odd injury. But he will be first to admit that he's still got a long way to go. He's still got a lot of hard work to do. I think you've got to give a lot of credit to the likes of Sunil and Roy, who he looks up to, because he will look and study how they play, how they conduct themselves on the training pitch, away from the training pitch. And yeah, anything can happen for that point, because he's got humbleness, he's got a willingness, he's a hard-working boy. And if you're a striker, if you've got a natural instinct for scoring goals, put all them together, you've got a fantastic opportunity. But he knows he's looking over his shoulder over the last few weeks and thinking, Sunil, Utanda, Pablo are all sat on that bench waiting to take my place if I'm not performing. So put all them things together. If he keeps being all the things that I've said, he's got a fantastic opportunity, and hopefully, how old is he now, 20, 15, 17 years time, he's sat here representing BSC as the new Sunil Chhetri of the icon of Indian football.
Yes, please. This is a question to Gurpreet. Gurpreet, I am Dhiman, I work for the Hindustan Times. Gurpreet, at a very young age, you played close to 80 odd games for East Bengal.
112.
Oh, sorry, 112. So that, the idea of dealing with that pressure, then you went to Norway and you came back a better player, joined BFC, from where you signed a new deal. Now, across the pitch, BFC have players who are more experienced. They have more India team players in the first team, etc. Does that sort of give BFC an advantage, given the fact that this is a high stakes, 90 minutes plus game? You guys know how to deal with pressure better. You play for the country, and you've, like I said, you've played for East Bengal at a very young age. Sunil's been there all his life, doing everything for football for 22 years. Does that give you guys an advantage going into tomorrow's game?
I don't think I've thought about it, honestly, that we have national team players and we have experienced players throughout the line in the team. I just know that we have good quality, hard-working players who are ready to put everything on the line to take this team anywhere we want to go up front. And that's what matters to me. It doesn't matter to me who is playing or if they are in the national team or what. If they are doing the job and if they are listening to my instructions, that's what matters to me. And I think I've been just very grateful to have this bunch as a team in front of me. To experience them on the training pitch, in the dressing room, has been a privilege, and I hope the environment stays like this.
Gurpreet, quick one. We see you saying "skerda" a lot behind the goal. What does that mean?
Skerda means left in Portuguese.
Portuguese and Spanish?
I don't know.
Or Spanish.
And derecha.
Okay. So that's the instructions you were talking about in your previous answer.
Yes.
So, and we heard that tomorrow large number of Mohun Bagan supporters are coming here, and so how you are going to handle that pressure? This is an added challenge for you guys.
Why didn't you hear about BFC fans coming also?
Did you not see the Fortress last week? 20,000 now.
Yeah, I think after a point, it doesn't matter that much. It's fans. After a point, it's just what we do on the pitch. We have played against Kerala in Kerala. We have played against ATK Mohun Bagan at Salt Lake. We played against Bengal. After a point, if you ask Mumbai when they came to play at our Fortress, the second semi-final, we were buzzing. But if you ask the players when they were 2-1 up, they will tell you, after a point, it's all right. Tomorrow the good part is it's a neutral ground. As many as ATK Mohun Bagan fan come, to chair the team. I'm pretty sure the BFC fans are going to come over there also. But our job is so much inside on the pitch. It is not going to. I mean, when you play at Kantirwa, at our fortress, yes, you feel the buzz. But even if you go to places which is very hostile, we have learned to keep the noise away and to think more about what's happening on the pitch.
Same.
Any message to the rivalry fans?
Stay safe.
A question for Sunil and Gurpreet both. In the last 10 years since BFC came into existence, it has been the most successful club. BFC won trophies every season. They had something to celebrate. But in the last 2 years was quite difficult because it was a disappointing season. We never made it to the final. Viewed from that perspective, how important was it for you to actually be here?
Right now, when I think about it, yes, it feels so good. If you are in a country playing for national team, if you have 6-7 players in the national team, you always want to be in the semi-finals, finals, or the end of the league. That was also one of the reasons why we were hurting in December. So now that we have worked hard and reached here, it feels really good. But then because we have played so many years, we also realize that you will never in longer run remember the ones who have lost the finals. We lost the finals to Chennai at home. First 10 minutes, we thought we were going to score 5 goals without even Chennai. When we scored the first one, we thought, today is our day, we're going to score 4-5. We were flying at home at Kantirwa. We lost that game. So I think reaching the finals is so good, but then that's why we are talking about keeping the nerves, because so much that we have done is gone. The 11 matches winning, which was unheard of, it's gone. I'll give you a context. Mumbai won 12 in a row, 11 or 12, and they are the best ISL team ever. We won 11. But still nothing has been won yet. He keeps reminding us, which is every time we come after a game we come and we think he's going to say something nice to us. He's like, we haven't won anything. The first thing is after every game, and we qualified, we beat Kerala, we beat Mumbai, he comes the first thing, we haven't won anything. But then it's true because he played so many years, you realize until you win the finals, this probably will be forgotten in some time. So that is why we're trying to keep our nerves and to keep calm, think about it as a game as much as possible, try to win the game, and then we can rejoice. But yes, the ethos and the aspiration at the club from after the first year has always been this. Try to be a team which aspires to become champions. You can't guarantee it, but always have that feeling and match it with the hard work that you want to at least win trophies.
If you win tomorrow night, I might say nice words to you.
Gurpreet, could you add to that?
I was thinking about when Paji was talking that for any club and as a player as well, the more number of times you reach a place like this, the finals, that measures the amount of success that you have achieved or you can achieve as a player and as a club. I think BFC has done that really well in the last 10 years, reaching 7 trophies. Of course, last 2 seasons have been seasons to forget, and this year things have changed. Obviously, we want to be here a lot of times more in the future, but again, we can't take our place for granted, especially in situations like this. Paji has again and again said that we need to keep our nerves and everything. That's very important because if you lose, no one remembers. If you win, yeah, we do.
Yes, please, sir. Go ahead. At the back. Okay. You first.
Hi, my name is Rajdeep from the Bridge. One question for you, Coach, and then Sunil. Coach, in December, basically, I think you'd won 2 or 3 odd games at the end of last year, and then you went on the winning streak. And you've mentioned that it was a new country for you, new continent. Was that one of the main reasons for you to sort of adapt, to get to know the new players and get it going, or were there other factors? What changed in the last 5-6 months?
Well, I think I've mentioned it quite a lot so far that, of course, I was learning and developing every day, as I said, about the other teams, players, my own players. But it was basically keep believing and making sure that we keep working hard in training. That I kept on saying that we were not too far away. I said to my staff, I said to the players, if we can eradicate any mistakes that we're making, and then when we get opportunities, we are that close to clicking. And that was the message all along. Even when we losing to Hyderabad 3-0 at home, we played well that night and lost 3-0. We played well against ATK at home and lost 1-0. So it was a genuine belief that I thought that we were doing the right things, both on a match day and on an everyday training, and I could see that there was a willingness at the training ground, as mentioned again, from the players to put it right. I've been in training grounds as a coach, as a manager, as a player, and you can sometimes sense that the players have given up. Someone said it there a bit earlier, that it was quite easy for the players to say, right, we are where we are at the end of December, we'll just let the season wind down and let's just finish wherever we finish, and it's been the third year on the trot. It's been an unsuccessful season for BFC. That isn't acceptable for BFC to be unsuccessful for 3 years, and ultimately it wasn't to be, I didn't want that on my CV as well. I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything I could from the day one of coming here, that I wanted to be successful, and that was the message we kept on relaying to each other. This is not the downward spiral of this football club. It's hit rock bottom, now we go back up again, and that's what we've done, and hopefully tomorrow we can finalise it and finish it all off, which will have been a great season. Winning the Durant Cup and the ISL trophy, potentially then playing in a playoff for the Asia Cup as well is another thing, but tomorrow is the sole focus of what we need to do.
And one question for Sunil, if that's fine.
If we can keep it short, please. One last question after that.
Basically, recently your national team head coach mentioned that ahead of the Tri-Nation tournament, he's trying to get in more young players.
That's not contextual to this.
It is little bit. Basically, so in the first half of the season, you weren't getting your game time, you weren't hitting form, and he mentioned, national team coach mentioned that you might be in your last season. So when you're not hitting form in your club football, these kind of questions creep in your mind that are you nearing your swan song?
No, I mean, that question is only for the ones who are not young, so I'm not worried.
Plus, after the game last time, I asked you at what age you stop considering yourself young, and you said you don't know. So that's that.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. There are many problems that I have right now, which for the reasons why I'm on the bench. But being the most good-looking one and the fittest one is not one of them. I'm not even joking. There is none who is more fitter than me, and good looks, in 22 years now.
Last question, please.
Hi, Sunil. Best of luck for the final. This is Wangjam from G24 Junta. Tomorrow your team will take on ATK Mohun Bagan, and your father-in-law, Mr. Subrata Bhattacharya, is a legend of Mohun Bagan. So, do you get any wish from Mr. Subrata Bhattacharya? And my second question is, tomorrow, Mrs. Sunil Chhetri will support which team?
So it took 40 minutes for this question to come out. It's going to be the first one. Who is he supporting? I have no idea. I would completely forgive him if he supports Mohun Bagan, because he's a legend there. Played 17 years. I can understand. I've played 10 years here, and I know the kind of love that I have for BFC. I can only imagine what he has for Mohun Bagan, and if he's supporting Mohun Bagan, I will have a talk with him about that. But if he does good, my wife, even if I play any club in the world, she'll support me, and I've got no doubt about it. I know it's a little bit strange because she's a Mohun Bagan me, but do not be fooled. No matter where I'm playing, she's supporting me.
Final question.
Okay, one final question as next question.
My question is for the coach. Do you feel the final match will be more of a psychological battle than a tactical battle?
No. It's what happens on the pitch, not between your head. Between your ears and in your head. Of course, psychologically it plays a part, of course, without a shadow of doubt. But I think both teams are in a good place. I think that both teams will be very confident. But it'll be basically who earns the right on that pitch, who wants it the most, who's going to run further than the opposition, who's going to come out on top in every 50-50 challenge, who's going to be the one that wants to be the hero. There is going to be potentially one hero tomorrow night, and I just hope he's in the BFC colours, because it means we're lifting the trophy, and we will have to give everything that we have in our locker to be able to achieve that. And look, I'm sure Juan's saying exactly the same thing to his team. It's all about who goes out and performs, play with your head as well as playing with your heart, and somewhere down the line you might need a little bit of luck as well, because luck does play a part, but you can't be reliant on it. I will say to these players, the last thing that they said, I say to them before they go out, have no regrets. By the time you wake up the following morning after a big game, you look yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, I could not have given any more on that football pitch, win, lose or draw. you can have no qualms or quarrels about what you have done the night before. If you wake up and look yourself in the mirror and think, I wish I'd run further, I wish I'd tackled and worked harder, etc., etc., then you've got a problem with yourself. So my message will be relayed exactly the same thing, same message again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm very happy that I got selected, and my main aim is to work hard as a player every day and try to achieve whatever I can. And now we are in the final, so the boys are excited, and we are ready for the finals.
Well summed up. I'll throw it open to you guys. Questions for Sandesh Jhingan and Suresh? Yes, please, sir.
Wangjam from Khel newspaper. You already actually know the atmosphere, even the team of the Kolkata teams. Everybody, everything you know because you were there. And so now when you were facing them actually, so what would be the approach to them actually, because you know that there are good attackers also in the team. So how do you look into that?
Firstly, good afternoon everyone. And to this question, I think football, if it was that easy, if every year it was the same plan, the same way the players go for a game or approach the game, then football will be too boring. So every game and every season is a different approach. Every match has a different approach. Every match has a different feeling to it. And I'm not stressing so much. Of course, they're a good team. Of course, that's why they're in the final. So just gotta do a bit. Gotta concentrate more on how myself and my teammates and how we're gonna perform in the pitch, and just focus on that. Stick to the plan what the gaffer wants us to do, and that's it. Not focusing so much on the side you said, because it doesn't matter. Because football is every day is a different thing. Thank you.
Next question, please. Yes, please.
Hi, Anirudh from ESPN. My question is to all three of you guys. It's been a really tough season. The curve upwards has been very sharp. During that bad time, during when your form abandoned you guys, did you ever lose belief that one day you'll be sitting here on the final day?
For me, no, and that's the beauty of football. In the starting of the season, we were struggling, but we didn't give up. The belief was there, and there were times we need to motivate each other, and I think, and we have really worked hard also, and that's the reason why we are here today.
Yeah, when we were struggling in the start, the gaffer and the boys, we know that we are a good team and we can change this around, and we have a hope that we can do well on the next coming games. And when the second leg comes, everybody was talking that we can change this around. And when the new year comes and we started winning from North East United, and from there we got some hope and spark, and then after that everybody believed together to change this around. And and as a game by game we were winning, and the confidence was high for everyone, and then the belief have come. So yeah, and I'm happy that and I'm happy for the team, and because we all worked hard together. When we were the bad time, nobody was caring, and now we are into the finals, and yes, it was worth it at the end, and now it's one more glory to go, and one more game to go to achieve what we wanted from the start. I think it's all about trust. I trusted them. They'll answer the right thing, so that's the secret, because we trusted each other.
Next question, please. Okay, I'll ask one on that. In the last game, Sandesh, this is for you. We saw an exchange between the two of you. Lots of exchanges happened in the game, but the predominant image from that is Rohit just calming everyone down and saying, calm down, slow the game down. The youngsters especially, how impressed have you been with their ability to have a mature head on their shoulders and steady the ship in moments when it could get tough?
I think I've said this many times already during the season, that how level-headed and how mature the whole batch is. And in the game, for me, it's my opinion, I might be wrong. For me, when you cross 18, you're a mature person. You're not anymore a youngster, and that's how I played my career. I never wanted that label of being a youngster on me, because I wanted to be there, respected, because Yeah, so same for everyone. I think I've been exceptional. Suresh as well is one of the finest number 6 I've seen in terms of corners also in my career. Same for Rohit, unbelievable talent. And they're so level-headed. And in the game, you need those personalities who can stand up and take a decision or something in the game which is going to affect the game. Because everybody wants to do something which will change the result. And to be there with them, it's a great feeling. And great with them, that's why they are in the national team, and where we are right now is great to all the batch and all these kids, everyone, and the club as well for finding them out and the way the coach has trained. So it's a collective thing, and I'm very happy to be part of it and seeing them grow every day and then growing with them as well. Yes, please.
Hi, Suresh, Rohit. You two and Harvey have formed a sensational midfield over this calendar year. Could you talk us through how you build your relationship in the midfield? How you talk to each other, what roles you give each other, and how you prepare to face a midfield of the caliber of McHugh, Martins, and Bumu. So when you are going to such a big battle, what do you tell each other?
Don't tell the game time right now.
It's simple, and we won't think too much that we are playing final tomorrow, but we'll keep very simple, and we'll be just doing what we have been doing past 2 months. And I think there's no secret, like we don't talk anything, only to be honest. We just say let's keep it simple and let's win our battle in the middle. That's it.
Rohit, not letting you go.
I think when we started winning, the confidence come naturally, and then after that, as a midfielder partner, we have to support each other and we have to work together and communicate, and the things getting better each game how we are playing. And I think we'll concentrate more on ourselves, and obviously they are good players. We have to care about good players in the ground, but at the same time we'll concentrate on more. If we'll do better, they have to work hard for us, not we have to work hard for them. So we make sure that we'll go hard, and we make sure that we'll try to win the game.
Sir? Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, Rohit, I have a question for you because you are.
If you could just wait for the mic, it's right behind you. And yeah, thank you.
Rohit, it is your first complete season, and you will be playing in front of the fans, away fans, and also there are so many things drawn. Talking about Hugo Bono, he will be in the thing that you should mark him, or he will be around you. So how do you take that challenge because you have faced earlier?
Every game is a challenge, every game we play against any good player, because all the teams are good in ISL, and we have to take care of one player, and they have every team have a good player, So for me, as a Hugo is a very good player, and he can change the game for them. But it will not from my side. It has to be collective, like me, Suresh, and whoever is close to him. We have to close down him and not let him play. And as Gaffer, he have a plan, and we have to do that, and we'll make sure that we'll not let him play.
Yes, sir, please.
Hi, I'm Shubhajit from Anandwaja. Question for Sandesh. As a leader of a defense, so how confident you are to stop Dimitri, Bumos, and Mandir?
We'll see tomorrow. And just to elaborate on it, it's not just the defense. I've said it also many times. I think I'm repeating myself again today. When you're defending, it's just not us three at the back or whatever. It's the whole team. So it starts from Roy, whoever plays up front. They start the process, and when we're going forward as well in attack, you cannot, if they're not scoring goals, you cannot just blame them strikers. It's because we're not providing them the right service. So collective thing, we defend together, we attack together, and I think that's every team, how approaches the game. That's it.
Yes, sir.
This is a question to Sandesh. Hi, I'm Dhiman. I work for the Hindustan Times. Sandesh, how difficult is it to adjust to a different club pretty much every season after such a long time with Kerala Blasters that they retired your shirt? So then you come into teams where you have to fit in, and you have a reputation that you bring in. So how difficult does it make it to adjust to different clubs, including Bengaluru this season?
Let's not talk about the shirt thing because I think it's right back. No, but massive respect for whatever they did for the shirt thing. I think I took it very close to my heart. It was a very beautiful gesture from them. About the adapting thing,
See, I've been always, since I turned pro, there's no club from Chandigarh back then. So I've always been kind of a traveler, so. And that's it, how I look at life. My job is to play football. I give my best in every training session, and there's certain things which you don't think about. That's how you are as a person, and I just try to be as natural I can wherever I go. And still, we all part in the same country, so wherever I go, I still have friends, and just do my job. I don't look at it so much where I am. It's just I want to play football. I want to stay happy, provide for my family. And that's it. I don't dive in too much and just do my job.
Yes, please. Yeah, hi, I'm Manish from Sportstar. My question is for Rohit and Suresh both. So in the earlier sessions, Sunil was talking about the role the youngsters have played in BFC's season, right from the Durand Cup win to reaching the ISL final. So now I throw the same question to you, Rohit and Suresh. Having such a nice balance of experience and youth in the team, as you both are still relatively young in your careers, and now you have a chance to win the ISL title. How much of a role do you think the seniors have played in just helping you settle and helping with the nerves and coping with the pressure of playing the ISL final? So
Senior players obviously plays a huge role to help us on the ground, because they have more experience and they have played games like this, the ISL finals and the semi-finals, where we have more pressure. So they just motivate us. They just calm us down, and they just try to help on the ground whatever we can do, and whatever and they try to help us, and they try to make the best what we can do for the team. So yeah, senior they are very important, and tomorrow it will be a huge role again for them, and yes.
Yeah, and I think it's very, very important, just not only in football, but for me personally in life also. I think I've improved a lot being with them, like Chhetri bhai, Gurpreet bhai, even Sandesh bhai. So I get to learn a lot from them, and especially I feel like it's a big credit to them where now like that we have reached final, because those times in starting of the season, they were really motivating us, through bad times. I think that's the reason why we are in the final also. So I think it's very, very important to have senior players in the team.
Suresh, I'll just take this forward with you. What were your personal objectives before the season started? Of course, playing in the final would have been one of them, but did you ever realign them when you were having the bad run? How did you keep that going?
Like obviously, like the season, like I had some goals before the season began, but some I've achieved it and some were not. But as I mentioned, like when we were struggling in the starting of the season, I was believing on myself and in my teammates also, because I know what we were capable of. So I just even I spoke to Chhetri bhai, Gurpreet bhai. I told them, like, if we win one game, then we'll be on the track, and I think we did it after this game.
In the interaction before this, in the previous batch, Sunil spoke about how there was a lot of anger within the team, and behind the scenes everyone was motivated and it was coming out in various ways with each other. How did you channel that in a positive way? Because it could go any way from there, it could go south, but in this batch, how did you make sure that that was a good thing and you used that to motivate you to go on the run?
I don't know, to be honest. It's just, of course, if you wanna achieve something, and football is a game, there's a lot of passion involved, and sometimes it does go right or left, and it can turn into the other thing. But again, I would say credit to the whole team. We never took it personally, whatever happened on the bench, because we knew it. Whatever was happening on the pitch and training ground, I mean, someone had aggression here and there. It was for the benefit of the team. So the ultimate goal was how we can make this team better, how we can improve individually, how we can change the results. So when you have that collective idea, I think
it's normal to have. I think every team will be having this as long I've been in some teams and it's always been there. Of course, especially when the results, why Sunil said it and why I also feel it was so important, because when we were losing them games, when I was going back studying the games again, or when we were talking in the dressing room the next day, we were just like confused. How did we drop points in this game? Because I don't remember, okay, you might say the 4-0 defeat to Mumbai, that was, I think, but even then, in that game, you could feel it, or we personally felt it, we might be wrong, but we personally felt it, we gave away the win to them too easily, you know. We made some stupid errors and I'm guilty of them as well. But we had certain moments in the game we could have turned the game around. So that was a situation for every game. We felt like, how is happening? So that turns, and then if you were like, I'll throw in the towel, results are going bad, you know, we'll be chill out in the training, just get done over with it. But create was a mentality where real characters are seen. We came to the ground, we were angry with ourselves, we wanted to improve. Sometimes you get those moments, you know, we've been guilty of it, but we knew it, those anger moments or whatever it was, for this day to sit here right now. I think we've done pretty well, but there's still one more battle left, and yeah, save it for the final day now, everything.
On that note, one more question if anyone wants to go. One final question for... Yes, please. Yeah. Akash.
Sandesh, you've played in quite a few finals before, and some of them might be going into this game, might be fresh in the memory. You might be thinking about not the result, of course, but the experience of having played in those games comes in handy when you go into a game like this. Does the fashion in which you've made the final, considering where we were at the turn of the year, make this game, I might be wrong, but does that make this game a little bit more for you?
Not just the final, every game means a lot to me, and yeah, I've been in many finals already, and I think always people put so much stress on the end result of who's gonna, of course I'm also guilty of believing that if you have the gold medal, that's it, you know, nobody remembers the second, that's how the world works, but you should never forget the effort which was given to be where you are. Whatever happens tomorrow, may the best team win, God bless. For what we have done, I'm so proud, because where we were, knowing our potential, being here today, it's an amazing, no matter what happens tomorrow, you know, for me, this would be something I'll remember for sure, in my career at least, that it's been massive. The turnaround has been massive, and we should all, as a batch, as a club, as a city, Bangalore, as a state, Karnataka, we should be proud of it. And yeah, and then of course you want to win tomorrow, and you know you want to have the gold medal around you. So we should never forget the effort, because to be here also it takes a lot of things, a lot of sacrifices. So we respect this, be proud of this, and knowing all this, being in all this, push one more time tomorrow, and then God bless whatever the gods of football decide, accept it happily, have no regrets. That's it.
Lastly, gentlemen, one final message for the travelling blues who are going to be there in the stadium tomorrow, starting with you, maybe Rohit.
I just want to say, then come in the numbers, and you have been great from the start of the season until now, and I know that they believed in us, and because of their push, we are here, and it's going to be a last push tomorrow, and hopefully we'll make them proud and happy.
Looking forward to hearing Santosh Ake in the stands in Goa, Sandesh.
Of course, and they've been massive, and I don't have enough words to describe it. Just small thing, let's win this together. Let's have a good night. Have a good memory, which we'll all share together on the pitch tomorrow, the rest of our lives.
Suresh, lastly.
Yeah, just come in a big number and enjoy the game.
You enjoy the game as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time, and thank you to everyone who joined in for our slightly long press conference.